Okay. Now, so basically the purpose, okay, I think any issues? No, Venkatesh, fine. So I think like every year, right, like the kind of a problem, what's happening with this kind of a situation, right? Like the people who are looking kind of a fake experience or like whatever the kind of an entry they are trying to get into the IT industry. That may be a fake experience, that may be a kind of a backdoor, or that can be a kind of so what else is needed to get into the career, right? So people are trying to do everything, but there are like a lot of things the people are not even realizing, and kind of entering into the market blindly, and they're trying to kind of facing a problem. In fact, like I can say, so the best example I can say, like maybe 10 years back, so I did a proxy. Okay, so at that time, like almost like a 10 to 12 years back, I did that one. But that guy is kind of not even prepared, and he went for the company, and he joined the floor, and like after joining the floor, right, like he's not even able to deliver a single message. So that's what his problem. And the HR people immediately set up a meeting, and they did played whatever the interview, right, he handled. Okay, basically that was handled by me, but like he handled that interview, and he was not able to tell like a single answer for that one. So luckily, and maybe it's my bad. Okay, I mean I need to accept that one too. So because of course, like I was not able to train that guy, okay, in a proper way. Okay, so that like he's not even able to handle a kind of a single meeting on the floor. So that is kind of maybe an experience even for me. So on training the people. So then like maybe with that experience, like it's clearly in my mind, like, okay, that the people who are getting trained, right? So when they go to the floor, so they need to definitely handle the things, okay, not only technical things, okay, even they are supposed to handle a kind of a floor. Okay, when I'm saying floor, it's kind of a project. So when they are on the floor, okay, technical skills only comes into the picture when he's in the deliverables. But like the kind of a day-to-day activities, I don't know like how many people experience this thing. When you go into a kind of a new place, okay, or like when you are going to a kind of a kind of an environment where you don't know anything, then obviously you have to create a drama over there. That drama, okay, as long as if you're kind of a experienced person, then you can play well. But if you're not an experienced person, it's going to be kind of a nightmare for you guys, trust me. Okay, it's going to be so critical, and even that can impact the kind of a health as well as your career. So that's the reason we come up with kind of a model. Okay, maybe I'll go one by one, but like try to understand. So this model is applicable to everyone. Okay, whether you are from engineering background, I mean kind of a post graduation background, or like maybe graduation backgrounds, any kind of a graduation, right? So nowadays IT industry is like improved a lot. Like even people change, the kind of a recruitment process got changed. Now they are giving a kind of a focus on technology and the kind of a subject what the people are having. Earlier, like when I was approaching interviews, right? Actually, I never get a chance to approach from outside, but like during that time itself, I heard from even from my friends, the people are only looking for like a kind of a graduation only in like maybe engineering or MCAs, or maybe sometimes BCAs and BSc computers. But now things got changed. Even a pharmaceutical candidate can approach. Even in my campus at the time, like people are not used to recruit for the electronics and communications and civil. Okay, maybe electronics communication is okay at least, but mechanical and civil, right? These people are not even eligible for most of the IT companies. But now the things were changed. Now you guys do have a lot of opportunities, whether this doesn't matter like what kind of a background you're having. But ultimately, if you are having a technical skills, right, definitely the companies are ready to take you into their organizations. Okay. So maybe, so don't worry about the kind of a job market, at least the people who are trying now. Okay, the story got changed now. Okay, as long as if you are technically sound and you know the culture of IT, you are good to get into the market and you can build your career. But the question comes whether you really want to go into there or not. But that's kind of a different story. I don't want to put it here because as you want to pursue your career in IT industry, that's the reason you are here. So if you're not interested, then definitely you won't be here, right? So anyway, in to put the things apart, what exactly we are doing. Okay, and how we are helping the people who are having with a kind of a gap. We opted two different kind of a technologies. Okay, one is virtual reality and another one is a data analysis. Maybe to listen these words, maybe little like maybe like deep into the technical, but like they're pretty much simple. So we are using virtual reality technology for the people who are having a less communication skills and they don't even have kind of a kind of an environment like they never handled, okay, in the past, okay, like kind of a professional environments. So now the second thing is a data analysis. The data analysis part is a kind of a crucial thing because even like we have been experienced this data analysis from like a years, even like when you are like joining a school, in a college, or like in any other companies, right? Data analysis was there, but maybe not with this fancy word. So every week or like every month you used to have an exams, right? So what exactly you will call that? So it's kind of an analysis of your kind of results, right? So that's the data analysis only. The same kind of a thing you followed until you get into a kind of a job market. Why can't you follow the same kind of an analysis, the same kind of a feedback mechanism, so the same kind of a mentoring, even when you are trying for your job? That is the kind of a data analysis, even what we are doing as part of the second chance. So two major things. One is virtual reality. Okay, it's kind of as I mentioned earlier, it's a startup, right? So this is what our actual main goal, virtual reality. We are basically experimenting this thing, virtual reality, on the people who are having less communication skills and the people who are having a kind of an anxiety of handling the interviews. Okay, to overcome that one, we are trying to use that virtual reality. Anyway, my video, like mostly we are talking in my video also the same thing, virtual reality concept. So basically the virtual reality helps the people like giving the same kind of a feel, whatever you're going to face maybe in next few hours or like maybe next few days, like handling an interview in front of like a 4 or like a 5 members of panel, or giving a presentation to the team, okay, or like explaining a kind of a design, or building a kind of a model, or like experience the kind of a project floor, kind of an IT building, or like maybe a kind of a team of like maybe 100 members. All these kind of an experiences you cannot feel like in a kind of a reality unless you have that kind of a virtual reality concept. Okay, of course you can experience it, but with a kind of an uh, 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 the impact basically, because if when you experience it, if you handle well, then it's okay. But if you experience it, but if you cannot handle well, right, it's going to impact the career. That's the reason, practice as much as you can before you go into the reality. So basically the virtual reality concept also brought like in the same kind of model, like in the NASA when they are trying to do like in 1970s or 1980s. So basically they don't have any kind of a mechanism to give the training to the people to simulate the same kind of environment in on like a space, right? So what they did was like they built this model by using a virtual reality on the earth itself, like in their like laboratories. But at that time the virtual reality device are like so much huge, okay, so many wires and so many things. Even till now, I mean, even the malls also you can see so many wires are like linked to the device. But the good part is like from the Meta, that is from the Facebook, they released this Metaverse 2, and it is like a kind of so compact, and so it will fit exactly on your face. Anyway, I don't want to talk about much on that part, but definitely we can experience, we can give you that experience for every student who are joining our program. But anyway, so we'll see like what exactly we'll do in the second chance to overcome, okay, your like the gap or whatever that fake experience, whatever you're having. First, we are trying to introduce a kind of a strategy oriented skills. When I'm saying strategy oriented, try to understand. So for everything, there should be some kind of a win-win strategy. Because when you're choosing a technology which has been there in the market from last 20 years or last 10 years, ultimately your interviewer also will be skilled and he is also having a depth knowledge, right? Same way, so if you're opting such kind of a technologies, you have to prepare at that level. Think about a technology which is very recent in the market. Okay, so then very recent technology, even you will not have a person like with the interviewer, okay, will not have like enough capabilities to interview you also, right? So you both will sail the same kind of a boat, but only difference is he might have experienced this tool in his organization maybe for a couple of years or maybe months. Even for you also same thing, right? Even you also practicing only for like a couple of months or like a weeks, and you are going with a limited knowledge. So even the other end also, he will not expect much, and even you should not expect like much depth of this thing. Both the people are having some kind of a reasonable expectation on each other. Make sense? And second thing, but like what if you are putting like a maybe like a 5 years or like a 4 years of experience and moving into the industry? Okay, I never suggest like putting the fake experience, but I'm saying the reality. But people still going. But how you are managing that experience? Okay, technically. Okay, I'm not at all talking about the proxies. I'm not at all talking about the backdoors, guys. Okay, what I'm saying is, even though you're putting some experience, but I'm suggesting you to practice that well in advance. The guys who are getting like experience for 4 years, you're supposed to get the same level of experience in like next, I mean, coming 2 months or like maybe 3 months. Okay, so the effort, whatever they put like for like 8 hours a day, you're supposed to put the same level of effort and gain that experience and then move on. That is what the entirely goal. For that, we design this thing so that, see, every journey will have some kind of a problem, but what kind of a vehicle you are choosing, right, that will resolve your issues. That vehicle is your technology, guys. Okay, that technology is any technology in the market. Okay, try to choose the latest technology with low code. Okay, so why I'm saying low code means, nowadays the technologies are like, or like tools are coming into the market with like kind of an artificial intelligence. You need not to write like any kind of a code. Okay, I won't say it's a zero code, it's a kind of a low code in the sense, so you have to use a little bit of code, but like not extensively. Okay, but then how it's happening in the back end, they are creating a kind of a procedures, they are creating a kind of a process oriented development, okay, which will resolve the thing, but you should know how to use that tool. That's it. Okay, that is called low code. It's not no code, it's a low code. Okay, but still, okay, you have to go with a kind of a particular approach. When I am putting, for example, 4 years of experience, okay, but this tool came just like a 2 years back, how you are going to claim, okay, how you are going to claim that other 2 years? So always your roots, okay, whatever the technology you are putting in, right, the technology will also have a root, right? That route even you should know. The way you project, or like the way you project yourself to the organization, okay, the is like you are going to maintain a kind of a knowledge on the route. Okay, and you work like almost like a years back. Now you are going to have a knowledge on the tool which is recently came into the market. So ultimately your profile is going to be built with a two different kind of skill sets. One skill set you worked almost like in a couple of years back, you don't have much depth of knowledge as you are not able to recollect it. And the other technology, you do have enough knowledge, but you don't have much experience. Okay, even no one is expecting that too. Like, for example, in my case, right, ISAS is kind of the latest tool in the market, and the parent of ISAS is Informatica Power Center. Okay, so what we are doing is we are trying to train you on both. Okay, it's on Power Center at the same time on IICS. Ultimately, you will be having the roots along with the knowledge on the latest tool in the market. When you go to the interview, you can project yourself in an effective way. Okay, that is what a kind of a model we are trying to build. But do you really think only by learning these two things will you be able to crack the interview? No, because for everything, right, any subject or anything, you have to learn the things in 360 degrees angle. That means you should practice each and every environment. Okay, that can be a source environment, target environment, project environments, everything as a kind of an basic approach. Okay, that itself, when getting onto that kind of a technical environment, okay, when you are coming from the non-technical. So that technical environment includes operating systems, the technical environment includes like a databases, that includes a kind of a cloud environments. If you are working on a cloud tool, okay, everything you should have a kind of an awareness. Okay, if you go to like a regular institutes, okay, that is what I experienced. I did research like almost in COVID pandemic, right? So we did like a lot of research in the market. For example, if you are going to the AWS DevOps, what they are going to teach you? They are going to teach you like about the AWS only, like some kind of services. Then they are going to teach you about the DevOps related services. But who is going to teach you how you are going to interact with a kind of a business analyst to get the requirements? What kind of a questions you supposed to ask your lead developer? What kind of questions you supposed to ask to your project sponsor? What kind of expectations you are going to have from your the team, okay, who are working with you? how you are going to communicate, or like how you are going to analyze the requirements, how you are going to build a documentation. Who are going to teach all these things? Of course, you may be like a gym, but like once you go onto the floor, how you're going to handle all these things? There's a reason whenever you're learning anything, try to learn in all the angles, in all degrees. Okay. Now, so that is what our methodology, learning methods, as well as the advanced skills, what we are trying to teach you. Next, periodic evaluation. So fine, see, guys, training, giving the training and learning, okay, maybe paying the amount to the trainer, everything is good. But why the people are not able to get the jobs, or why the people are not able to deliver the answers in an interview? The reason is basically the kind of a seriousness, the kind of an intention, whatever you're having, okay, when you join the program, but that kind of an intensity will not continue, okay, will not continue till the end of your course. Because always the training institute will think like, okay, they got their money. The student will think like, okay, I joined the program and I'll get my job. But in reality, it will not happen, right? So the trainer took his own money. That's okay. He is good. But the student is not taking the knowledge. Maybe the day one, he's like so much curious and so much like intense on learning the things. But day two, he will lose that scope. Day three, he will lose more scope. And finally, he will be kind of a delivering his brain from that institute with kind of a low confidence, and he's losing the money. And at the same time, he's losing his confidence. Ultimately, he's ending up going into a different careers. Okay, that can be a non-IT or any other career. But what exactly the solution for this thing? The basic solution is periodic evaluation. Okay, you should have a periodic evaluation every week or on an alternative day. Okay, see, being a trainer, okay, I need a reputation in the market. Being a student, you need a kind of a career, okay, after completion of this course. This is what my goal, and this is should be your goal, okay, kind of a knowledge you're supposed to gain, right? Whatever you started this course, you should end up with the same kind of a deliverable as part of this training. That is what kind of a result oriented feedback. Okay, whatever the feedback and whatever the kind of an evaluation we are doing here, right, that should be kind of a result oriented. It's not like, okay, you wrote like you got like maybe a 10 marks in mathematics. Okay, now that doesn't make any sense to a student. What exactly make a sense? Why you miss the rest of 90 marks will make sense for a student, right? You agree? Because if I am losing something, everyone is simply can say, hey, you lost this thing. But the person, maybe you can call him as a mentor, that mentor is supposed to tell you why you lose it and what you have to do to get it back. That is what kind of a mentorship we are going to provide for you guys. Okay, maybe you can ask what kind of an evaluations or how you are going to evaluate me. I can tell one thing, a best example. Okay, I'm trying to practice this in my previous batch, but somehow like we are not able to put it in a kind of a right format. But like our next goal is we are recruiting a batch. We are recruiting a batch, okay, of people who can follow for every student, every 5-member students batch. Like, for example, there is a 10 members in my batch. For every 5 students, one resource dedicatedly is going to work, okay, on what? Every student has to submit the recording of tell me about yourself. Okay, tell me about yourself. That has to be recorded every day. Every day it has to be recorded, and one resource from my end is going to monitor that, and he is going to give a constructive feedback. Okay, not every day he's going to provide the feedback, but definitely once in a week he's going to provide his feedback, okay, by analyzing all this 1 week worth of recordings. Okay, that is a kind of a day one onwards is going to happen. Okay, why only tell me about yourself? That is what the crucial thing in interview. In the first 2 minutes is going to decide your fate. Okay, so by practicing that, like almost like 60 days, 60 days, try to think about this thing, guys. You are going to practice the same thing for 60 days. Okay, so definitely you will be master on that one. So that is a first level of periodic evaluation. Then come to the technical part. When we are doing the technical part, right, what we are doing is we are trying to conduct you almost like a 30 mock interviews. Okay, in this 30 mock interviews, you are gonna handle almost like a 10 to 15 questions in each and every interview. Overall, you are going to be end up with like a 400 plus interview questions, right? So even a interviewer cannot think of more than 20 questions in his 30 minutes or 40 minutes span of his interview, right? So ultimately what you are doing is you are practicing the thing, okay, which is really needed, because you already learn the subject. Okay, our learning methods are a little different. So every day when you are learning something, you're supposed to write, or like you're supposed to do a kind of a technical evaluation from each and every student perspective. Okay, for example, today I'm explaining a concept. You're supposed to explore that concept in almost like kind of 7 different kind of variants. So obviously you're supposed to get a kind of a good amount of knowledge from each and every topic on each and every day. Okay, apart from that, even you are trying to prepare for your mock interviews, and even you are trying to prepare for your kind of a real-time project experience. I'm sorry, guys. It's all right. I took like a 5 minutes extra. You guys are okay to continue for 20 minutes? Extremely sorry. I wasted like your 20 minutes time. Is that fine with everyone? Can you put like in a text?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yes.
It's fine. It's
Yes,
fine.
sir.
You can carry
Yeah.
on.
Okay,
No
it's
any
fine.
issue. Yeah.
Awesome. I really appreciate, guys. Thank you. Now, so the next approach is going to be these projects, right? So I'm not committing myself or like committing to you guys that we are going to provide the real-time projects. But what I am committing to you guys is I'm going to provide a real-time team. Okay, so when I'm saying real-time team, I supposed to make every person, okay, in the team as in a different kind of a role. Like, so I'm going to give like a 5 different kind of hats to you. One hat is when you are putting that hat, you should feel like whatever the characteristics of that hat. For example, I'm giving you a developer hat. When you are holding that hat for 1 week, you should think like a developer, you should work like a developer, you should deliver the documentation just like a developer. Okay, so and at the same time, your teammate or your colleague, maybe your like a batchmate, will hold like another cap. That hat he will hold of a designer hat. So he has to feel or like assume like he's a designer in the project. Okay, maybe you can think of how can like I'll become a designer. You are not doing anything as a designer, but you should feel like a designer and communicate with the other team member as a designer. Next week, you will be kind of a developer and other person is going to be designer. Like other person is going to be kind of a test lead. Other person is going to be business analyst. Like that, every person will be guided and monitored with a different kind of a role of in a project. The reason why I'm saying this, again, the same experience what I mentioned like 10 years back, right? The guy who trained from my end and he went to floor. You don't know, like when someone is introduced themselves like a business analyst, what kind of a question he need to ask. He don't know what exactly the designer will do. Okay, he don't know what about the what exactly the a test lead will do. He don't know what exactly the client will do. He don't know what is like a kind of a sponsor will do. Okay, and what is it agile and scrum methodology? What are the scrum calls? What are the kind of stand-up meetings? Okay, so you need to have a clear understanding on the floor. What are these characteristics? And like what are those characters, what kind of a show you are going to play every day. If you don't know what is that like each and every character, you cannot play that game, you cannot win that game. Okay, so definitely you should have that real-time environmental experience for sure. Without that knowledge, you cannot deliver the things effectively, because who is going to check your technology? Okay, because you only interview, they will check your technology, but day to day, no one is going to ask you what is Java, or like no one is going to ask you what is the technology. Everyone is busy with their own activities. Or what all they are expecting from you is what exactly they need. Okay, what they need, the deliverables. Okay, maybe a tester will have different expectations, a designer will have different expectations, business analyst will have different expectations. Everyone will have a different expectations, and you need to understand those expectations. Then only you feel confident. Here subject doesn't matter, guys. Okay, subject not even comes to the picture. Only comes to the picture is a kind of an expectations. Okay, what other people are expecting from you. If you know that very well, then at least you can talk something. Okay, if he is expecting a kind of a biryani and you are offering some kind of a soup, it's kind of a kind of a blunder thing, and people will easily realize you are a fake guy. Okay, so that is a way to handle the things as well, not only like a technology. Next, everything is good, but how you are going to get a job? As I mentioned earlier, also we are not encouraging the proxy. The reason is if we encourage the proxy, student will not build his capabilities. Okay, because it's not a government job. Okay, and we are not cheating anyone over here. Even like we in the sense, not from me or like a villain, we in the sense, including you guys. Being a team, as a trainer, me, as a trainee, you. Okay, we should not kind of cheat anyone, or like we are not like humiliating ourselves in front of the market. The thing, whatever we are saying openly, yes, I do have some gap. Okay, I did prepare during these days. I did so much experience, or like I did so much kind of in a practice, and I did so many things. Okay, this is what I built in the term of last 2 years or 3 years or 4 years. Okay, this is what I built as my core set. Okay, and one more thing, guys, while building this fourth step, right, every person story is different. Every person, the background is different. We cannot take one resume and copy paste to everyone. No, that is kind of a blunder thing what people are doing. Every person resume should be built in a kind of an individual recipe. That recipe has to be like such a way, whenever you're explaining something in an interview, right, those things should come from your brain, not from your mouth. Okay, when I'm saying brain, normally the kind of a psychologically the things will sit in your brain and it'll come automatically when you really did that in the past. Okay, let me give an example. For example, myself, I'm a trainer even before coming into the industry. What I will do, for example, if I am having a 4 years of break, okay, or like maybe if I'm having a 4 years of gap, but like I've been working as a tutor, how I'm gonna build my resume? The best way I can build my resume, I worked as a corporate trainer in my organization. I used to deliver the trainings to the people who worked or like who joined recently in my organization. My entire career went like that. I used to do the POCs like this. I am gonna add as a point. Just I'm giving an example, guys. Okay, so the same guy, maybe he working as a marketing guy. Okay, maybe in a financial sector like insurance. You're supposed to bring those wordings. Okay, you're supposed to bring the wordings and try to build a project. Okay, and you should have a kind of a clear understanding on that project, and you are going to do that project as part of your second month. Okay, because I mentioned, right, you are going to do multiple projects by having a different kind of hats. During that period, you're supposed to build your own projects, and you're supposed to build like the project whatever you're going to putting in a resume, and you're supposed to work on that projects whatever you're putting on resume technically, and kind of an effort. If you have to put your efforts, okay, to deliver the projects in the in the 2 months or like a 3 months of duration. That is what you are going to write your resume. Then you can definitely confidently make your point to the interviewer. Okay, and from our end, so this is what, see, on every point I'm trying to explain what you supposed to do, what I supposed to do. In my end, what I'm doing is my team is going to build your resume. First goal is to push your resume to our vendors, where we already clearly mentioned these are our resources who don't have any real experience, but they did earn their experience during our training program, and which we already explained to them. We will project to them as a kind of a first activity. The parallelly, okay, the team also building a kind of a resume which supposed to go into the market, okay, as a kind of experienced candidates. but still but still again, we are going to add, like, it's not like for example, you are having a 4 years break. We are not blindly building all 4 years. We are trying to make up, or like we are trying to build a kind of an impression that you do have some gap. It's not like entire thing is kind of a real experience. So for the best example I can say, for example, you are having a 8 years of gap. I cannot put like simply 8 years experience, right? So because it should be meaningful, like whatever you're doing, right, it should make some sense. Forget about the salaries, forget about everything. Okay, don't just for the sake of salary, don't put like a wrong experiences and try to get like a huge packages and immediately come out of the projects like on maybe on first month or like a second month. Okay, it's not, again, once again I'm saying, it's not a government jobs, guys, it's a private jobs. No one is going to tolerate you, okay, if you don't perform well. 100 people who are going on a proxy, okay, without support or like without any kind of an external support, all 96 to 97 people are coming out of the projects. Okay, only 3 to 5 people will survive only with their kind of a luck, or maybe they do have like kind of an excellent communication skills. Luck means it's not like a kind of a fate or coming through some puja. Luck means maybe that guy is not allocated to any project, or maybe that guy might have trained on a different skill, or maybe the project itself, like whoever recruited him, right? So they might put him like for a long time in the bench because they don't have proper requirements. So luck always will not play a great role, guys. So always think like you're supposed to be prepared, okay, by trusting yourself, okay, not like on a proxy. Next, ultimate, our goal is, okay, our goal is, we are not trying to teach you something, but we are trying to make the things as in a habits. Like the best example, what I can say is a kind of an everyday trying to tell yourself, like tell me about yourself concept, right? So that is what, like a kind of making a habit. Like after repeating of the same thing for 60 days, you're trying to explain yourself, okay, to the mirror or to your screen 60 times. So it will become a kind of a habit, right? Same way, subject also same thing. For every topic, you are going to evaluate almost like in a 7 times. Okay, evaluation sense what? For example, if I'm talking about VLAN, so this company, if you want to see about this company, right, you have to see in like a 7 different aspects. So whatever the taxation they have been doing, what is a parental company, how they have been surviving from last 10 years, what exactly they are doing. So many questions should come in your mind. Okay. For any topic, not only for this one, any topic, you should get like at least like a 6 to 7 layered questions or layered analysis you have to do. Then you definitely remember that concept, at least like a 2 to 3 words or like at least 2 to 3 statements about that concept to talk in interview. Trust me, guys, interview will go hardly. Okay, if it's really going well, hardly it will go 45 minutes to 1 hour. Out of that, first 5 minutes will go for the introduction. Second, like a 20 minutes will go like a kind of a basic analytical analysis, and the last few things, okay, few minutes will go based on like the kind of a progress you have shown. Because if it is going for 40 minutes means itself like it's kind of a good interview. So obviously, when you are showcasing yourself like an interview, right, with a kind of a habit-oriented knowledge, not like a just like a tomorrow's exam and today night you are preparing 5 interview questions. No, it doesn't work like that. You know what is the basic difference? The people who studied kind of with the concepts and who studied the only important questions, who will struggle more? The guys who are reading that important questions will struggle more ultimately. The reason is when you are reading these things as in a habit, okay, you won't even feel the stress. Okay. So anyway, so it's kind of a psychological thing, but trust me, always try to learn the things as in a habit, not as a kind of an interview or like an exam. Okay. But don't worry, we will make that habits. I'll tell you how. Now, our model is simple, guys. Okay. We are not doing much. We are building technical skills. We are building the communication. Okay. From your side. And from our end, we are building your resume. So in the first bottom two, right, there is a kind of a collaboration with you from our end. But the other one, like a resume building, right, it's purely from our end. Okay. We are trying to understand your background. We are trying to understand your like the past experience. We are trying to understand what exactly you did during the gap. Okay. And then we are trying to build your resume and self promotion. This is where the kind of an efficiency or like a maybe your things supposed to come to the picture. Like when you are promoting yourself, right? So what exactly you have to do? You have to promote yourself in respect to like the LinkedIn. You have to post some kind of a challenges, what you faced, how you resolved your challenges. Okay. So, and second thing, how many projects you are going to deliver. Okay. You have to get like kind of a self promotion internally. Self promotion sense what? Like you are promoting yourself. That means you are building a confidence, right? Ultimately, what exactly you're doing is self promotion. You are not thinking of some other one or like some other person is going to work for you. You are thinking for yourself. You are going to work for yourself. Like how you are going to get that one? Every day you're practicing, tell me about yourself. Every day you're practicing kind of interviews. Every day you're practicing the subject and you're practicing your projects. These kind of advantages, these kind of things you are going to post on social media for yourself. Or maybe you're supposed to post it to your friends or post it to your community or post it to someone else so that you are building a kind of a trust on yourself. That is what the key thing to move to the next level, that is interview skills. And again, interview skills, we are here to help you guys. Okay. We are here to help you guys as part of the interview process. Okay, not in terms of the proxies, but definitely in terms of how to handle interview, how to handle the first 5 minutes, how to handle the next, how to convert that interviewer mindset towards your side. Okay, so have you ever observed how the things will go in a communication? Whatever this topic you open up, right? Whoever opens the topic, until and unless there is a sudden break or some interruption, the topic will go, the communication will go only on that topic. So it's everything matters. Okay, how you are diverting the interviewer. Okay, for example, if I'm asking a question, what is a database? Okay, the answers could be in a different way. A database is a collection of tables and views. Then your next question will be on the tables and views. A database is a collection of a data where you are putting in with a proper referential integrity. Then the question is going to be on a referential integrity. A database is a collection of a data, okay, which collects like a multiple tables. Then the question comes onto the different aspect. Maybe so you can take any topic in the world. Okay, always communication plays major role. So those skills you should know when you are going for the interviews. Okay, so very, very important, guys. And one more thing, remember, nowadays, once people get into the floor, okay, even though you complete your interview, still you have to go through a lot of interviews inside of the organization, like client interviews. Okay, so it's not like for specifically with the companies, for the consulting companies, right? You should go through client interviews. And handling a client is different, handling a consulting company is different. Okay, so there are so many things, guys. Interview is like not only cracking your job interview. Even once you get into the job also, okay, you should go to some other client. There again, you have to handle the things. So in simple way, this is what our model, what we are trying to focus. Now, there is a layered approach for everything. So even we are going with this approach. Okay, so this approach, right? So first thing is technical training we are giving. Okay, don't get confused. VLearn and VR Campus. Okay, these are two kind of sister companies. Okay, so but the model is kind of the same thing. But in the VR Campus, right, what we are trying to do, we are trying to introduce the virtual reality. Okay, so that is what. But like virtual reality is needed for the people who really having a communication skills and kind of challenges. Okay, for those people, it's a separate program. But anyway, I can explain that in detail if you are having any questions. Because to explain that, I need to put the device. I need to showcase the device. So our approach is same thing. First, we are giving sufficient training and we are executing the kind of projects. Then we are asking the people to go for certifications, guys. Okay, we definitely insist people to complete their certifications. The reason is when you are having fake experience, always try to showcase yourself in some other angle. Okay, even though you're having a fake experience, for us, even for us to showcase to our vendors, right? Hey, my guy don't have any kind of an experience, but he did completed his certification on Azure. He did complete his certification on AWS. Okay, or he did complete his certification on IACS. So ultimately, the certification will give you like a more value. Anyway, don't have an experience. At least make some certifications. Okay, do some certifications. You will get like kind of a technologically you will be efficient, and the vendor also, the opposite person also will kind of a confidence, not from your side, by looking at the certification, because certification means it's not like a buying somewhere, right? Don't buy it. Okay, again I'm saying don't buy it. Okay, earn it. Then whoever having the problem, okay, so we do provide that the virtual reality experience, okay, with the device. And final goal is to place you guys in a kind of an IT firms. Now, what kind of a technological skills we are doing, guys? So as I mentioned earlier also, Informatica Cloud, okay, basically we are experts in cloud computing and data integration. And what we are trying to do is we are trying to bring the technologies which make sense to get a job. Okay, so not like in every technology. So if you are going, see, there's a simple thing like maybe I studied in one of the book. If your journey supposed to be simple, right? Better choose less competition, because every journey, if it is reaching to the same place, or like every path is going to the same place, then why you have to go on to the crowded path? Why don't you choose a simple path? Okay, why don't you choose a kind of an easy path? Okay, in a genuine way, and which is a kind of an accurate path. That's what I mean to say, like when I'm saying genuine, because once you start your journey, don't try to slip out, okay, by doing the wrong things. Try to go on a path where you have a less competition and where you have a kind of a trustworthy partner. Okay. Ultimately, whether you're going within a different kind of a path and going to the same destination doesn't make any sense going in a crowded way. Better choose the right tool, right approach, right partner, and try to start your journey. Okay. Now, as I mentioned earlier, when you are choosing a technology, you're supposed to look at the technology in 360 degrees. Okay. So that your resume will be showcased in a proper way. Whenever you're going into the data warehouse or like a data integration, right? The core skills are data warehousing concepts, SQL and Linux. Okay. So these are the core concepts. So what we are doing is in the span of 2 months, we cannot cover all these things. So whatever the core basics, because you already studied these things as part of your curriculums, okay, who are especially from the computers background. But even though if you don't study, right, so what we are going to do is we are going to give the kind of basics and we'll ask you to kind of do the practice every day, because SQL and Linux, right? So these are the kind of command based or kind of a structured based. If you cannot study them, basically you have to practice them. Okay, so that's how we'll start our like a basic things. Again, AWS and Azure, don't take me wrong, we are not trying to teach you entire AWS and Azure. Okay, what we are trying to do is when you are working on a data integration, you should understand from the cloud how data is like being handled, where data is going to be stored, how to touch those environments, how to play around those environments. Those things you're supposed to have an idea. The next thing is a power center and ISS. These are the core things. What is a kind of a hot for this training model? Okay, you are going to be trained on these two technologies. Okay, in well deliverable level of projects. Okay, you are going to have a kind of a 360 degrees of subject towards your ISS. Okay, now we basically we divide this into multiple phase, guys. The first 4 weeks, okay, so I'm not just simply saying, we did like a lot of analysis on week to week how to deliver this program. Okay, first phase, okay, that is like in the kind of 4 weeks you are gonna experience like cloud computing concepts, data warehousing concept, and Informatica Power Center, AWS and Azure basics. Finally, you are going with the ISS Informatica Cloud. With that, you are going to have complete preparation, but there should be another level of preparation that is kind of a task oriented. Okay, this is the first thing is okay, what we are teaching, but what you are going to showcase to us is 30 tasks on content. Means every day after the completion of class, you're supposed to deliver one form. Okay, we only giving you a form with a list of important questions, but for every question, you're supposed to write a 7-layered analysis. Okay, now communication, 15 tasks on a communication. As I mentioned, tell me about yourself is kind of a communication oriented thing. Those kind of tasks supposed to happen in the first phase. Okay, how you are going to submit them? By using a Google Drive. Okay, every day you will receive one request from us and you're supposed to complete that and send it back. Okay, I'll tell you how we are monitoring that one also, maybe in the next slide. In the second phase, that is like in kind of in a second month. Okay, there is kind of an what I can say, it's kind of a heart for our program is handling 4 different kind of projects. Like during these 4 projects, as I mentioned, you are going to have different kind of roles. 1 week, okay, one project. In that 1 week, every person will have his own role. Okay, developer role, designer role, or any role. That role will be kind of shifted to the next person and in the next week. Like that, 4 weeks, 4 projects. 30 plus interviews. Every day, each and every person will get an interview call. Okay, and don't expect it is coming from the market. It is going to be from us. Okay, our team will call you for an interview, and every interview will be recorded. Okay, with your permission, of course. Okay, and reviewed by me or like some other trainer, and you are going to get like kind of a feedback. Next, the tasks over here is 15 tasks will be on the project, 15 tasks will be on interviews. Okay, because after review, right, definitely we have to submit, right, whatever the improvements you have to go for. The last phase is like an evaluation phase. This is where like you're going to convert yourself into a kind of a professional. So the preparation one, right? Like we are going to review all your like recordings and whatever the things are happening from last 2 months, right? So basically this evaluation phase will go parallelly with the first phase and second phase, okay? Because it will start from the day one itself, like the kind of a review of recordings, and maybe alternate day you are going to get your feedbacks, okay? Or maybe for few things you will get like a weekly basis, for few things you will get like alternate days, and review of your mock interviews. So again, you are going to get like a kind of a feedback from your mock interviews. In the back end, we are going to work on your resume building. Okay. So maybe a couple of calls, maybe introduction call itself. We are going to ask multiple questions before you join in our program. Okay. And then, so our goal is brand creation for every individual, because every individual will have his own skill in something. Okay. Maybe sometimes we realize, sometimes we don't realize, but whether you realize it or not, we have to bring a brand out of us. Okay. That brand you have to showcase in your resume. Okay. Every person will have some skill. Okay. Maybe by now you should have realized that one. Okay. If you don't realize also, that's okay. Okay. Maybe we have to start exploration from now. But ultimately, your goal has to create your own brand. Okay. So brand means yourself, you should have confidence. That is what you're kind of calling as a brand. And marketing every individual. It's not like, okay, you are posting your resume. There is a dedicated person to post your resume. Okay. It's not like a Naukri you are paying for like a putting your resume. It's we are the people, we are paying for Naukri, Monster, LinkedIn. Okay. And we are trying to push your resume, because both of our goal is same, getting a job for you guys. Okay. For yourself is your goal, and getting a job to you guys is our goal. And even in the evaluation phase, like continuously, as I mentioned, right? Evaluation phase will go from the day one. So 25 tasks you have to do on SQL and Linux. Okay. So this evaluation phase will go from the day one. Okay. So that's how this entire operation will go on, guys. Okay. This will go in parallel. And if each and every activity, that prep 1 and prep 2 are linked together. Okay. So in the first phase, if you want to close the first phase, you have to finish the prep 2. Same with the second phase, same with the third phase. Maybe here a little bit detailed explanation what exactly we are covering, but like technical part, we are covering IICS, Power Center, AWS and Azure Basics, data warehousing, self-paced SQL and Linux labs. And project skills, we are focusing on project lifecycle and different roles in a project, and email communications and communication patterns in a day-to-day life. Okay, how to communicate with every person. And certifications and recognitions. So we definitely provide you all the guidance, whatever is needed. Right. So see, guys, simple thing, by paying 3,000 rupees, okay, Amazon, AWS, and Microsoft guys will certify you on a simplest technologies. Even these will not consume much time, much effort. Trust me, 1 week of preparation is enough. Okay. I mean, at least I can confidently say after our training, 1 week to 10 days of training or like maybe preparation is enough to complete those certifications. Those are basic level certifications. But putting that logo, I am certified, on your LinkedIn profile or on your resume will makes lot of difference. Trust me, lot of difference. And even think about this thing, putting your resume in Naukri and putting a resume in LinkedIn makes lot of difference. Okay. Anyway, so that's the reason like we have to build the LinkedIn profile. This LinkedIn profile building, right? So normally if you're really experienced person, people will start looking into the LinkedIn. Why? Because when you are having our like real-time experience, definitely you might have links with the real-time people. We need to start building that in 2 months of time. How? You have to link, or like you have to connect with your friends, your relatives, or like maybe some other areas, like wherever you are having some network. Ultimately, you have to build a network. Okay, that is what we are doing. So maybe we'll talk more on this one. And then next is the code competitions. I don't suggest now you will go with the code competitions for now, but if you're really passionate, then you can go for the competitions. And if you participate this thing, right, you will get the score. Okay, that score even you can project. Okay, but anyway, so right now with your pressure and kind of a timelines, I'm not sure whether you really are going for competitions, but I really suggest, okay, if you're passionate about this thing, right, participate in a competition, try to get some score. And the last one is soft skills. Okay, self-marketing skills means when you are handling an interview. Okay, so in the interview, how you are going to showcase your abilities, how you are going to project your inabilities, how you are gonna convert that candidate or like how divert the topic into a like your own like a positive way. Okay, it has to create a kind of positive vibes. Okay, the way you deal the things. Okay, that is what kind of a self-marketing skills and communication skills. Once you enter into the organization, how best you can communicate with other person. When I'm saying communication, guys, again, it's not about English or it's not about the language. It's about a kind of an approach. And anyway, interview skills are the same thing. What best you can do in interview with a limited knowledge and resume building. Okay, so these are the different kind of areas what we are focusing. I'll talk about this thing like the entire this section, right? You're supposed to deliver 100 tasks. Okay, just remember this point, 100 tasks. I'll come back to this. So anyway, the model I explained multiple times. The first section will go, second section is Informatica Power Center, third is Azure Cloud, and fourth one is IACS. If you look at like maybe how I'm going to teach you guys, okay, how I'm going to teach you guys in terms of hours. This course is like 47 hours to 45 hours, okay, technically. So maybe sometimes it will go to the 50 hours, depends on like how best you are doing in the class, okay. If you are having more questions, that is a really wonderful. We might go for like 50 hours. If you don't have much questions, maybe even we can go for the 45 hours also, okay. Ultimately, the amount of time we are spending on data warehousing concepts and cloud computing concepts is 2 hours. Power Center, we are going to spend like a 15 hours. Azure and AWS Basics, 10 hours. IACS is kind of 20 hours. And I mentioned self-paced learning on Linux and SQL. Linux and SQL, basically, we are going to provide a kind of videos, okay? And you're supposed to practice it. Okay, it's not like someone is explaining to you something. Every day we'll give some questions to you. And we'll give some kind of an explanation in videos, okay? Because it's not like a 1-day program or 2-day program, guys. Linux and SQL, you have to continuously practice it. Okay, so that's the reason it's a 60 hours. Okay, 60 hours, it will continue from the day one itself. That means in the entire journey, you are going to practice this thing. Ultimately, to put it like a simple way, our model is simple thing. First, deliver the content, execute that content in terms of projects, and build the communication, then go for the placements. Okay, if you guys agree or like maybe disagree, maybe you can definitely comment it. Always your comments are like helpful. So ultimately, these are the kind of connectivities what we are trying to build for your self-presentation. Okay, you're supposed to know interview skills, you're supposed to know the culture. Okay, this word is very, very important. Culture and communication. Okay, culture means what? Wherever you go, like when you go to Rome, be like a Roman, right? So the same way, when you go to the IT industry, showcase that culture. Okay, how? With your communication. And project roles and responsibilities you should be aware of. And the brand building. Okay, brand. Whenever I'm saying brand, it is showcasing of your confidence, guys. Okay, nothing else. This is how our journey will start. The first milestone is completion of your classes. Second milestone is completion of your projects with the real-time environments. And third thing is completion of your mock interviews. Then get ready for the job market. So that is what, guys, like, okay, it's an entire program. I really appreciate for all your patience. Hope like this session help you in a better way. So maybe one question from my end to all of you guys, like any comments or anything like you can think of. I definitely, I mean, I'm always open to include any kind of comments. Either positive or like a negative, that's okay. And if you guys, maybe you can answer like another question, like how much you can expect the pricing model for this one. Maybe there is a kind of an important thing and maybe interesting thing as well, right? Any idea for this course? Okay, what exactly the kind of a thing you can expect of? Like, I don't know, like, because we did a lot of research on putting the pricing model. Okay, basically, this is a kind of a job-oriented model. Okay, this is a kind of a job-oriented model where every person has to get in a job. That is what the goal. Okay, but coming to the pricing model, we based out like our pricing model based on the kind of a deliverables. Okay, right now I can show this thing, right? Like in the slide, 100 tasks are there. Okay, maybe how we are going to make you guys are going to work on these 100 tasks. The simple thing is at this age, okay, maybe everyone is like maybe above 22 or 20, right? So definitely at this age, right, no one is going to control the people with any kind of anything except with a good mentoring. And the second thing is kind of a financial thing. Financial thing definitely bring the things into discipline. So that's the reason what we are trying to do is like we are trying to bring a kind of a 50,000 security deposit for every person whoever wants to enroll into this program. Okay. But if you are delivering this program, or like if you are delivering this 100 tasks by end of this 2 months, we are going to give your 50,000 back once you placed into an organization. Okay. So for example, you are not able to deliver the first task. Okay. You just think like, okay, your 500 rupees are gone. Okay. I mean, I'm just kidding. So what exactly we are going to do is like for every task, we linked with the 500 rupees as a task cost, because you already paid 50,000 to me, right? So every task is worth of 500 rupees and you are going to gain your 500 rupees back. If you finish all 100 tasks, you are going to get like all 50,000 back than what we are getting as part of the business, right? So that is what you are getting. So ultimately, you are getting a kind of a career, and what we are charging by end of your placement means once you get your offer letter, right? We are charging like a 25% of your package, right? So you may ask like why we need like we have to pay 25% of the package. The reason is, so this includes like I'm little fair enough to explain the things like the kind of an operation things as well. So we do have a team to work along with you, okay, to train you, to mentor you, to provide like a continuous feedbacks, to provide a kind of a interviews, and to prepare your forms to submit every day, and even to post your resume, to talk to the vendors. All these activities in the back end, there are separate teams who are working on this. Okay. So there's a reason. So, and the moreover, like, so initially we are not charging anything. Of course, we do putting that amount in a kind of a conditional, like a 50,000 rupees, like as part of this program. But those 50,000 rupees just to put a kind of a disciplinary thing as part of your learning approach. Because if you are not disciplined in the entire journey, then there is no meaning even for us to start this journey along with you, right? So we need to have that kind of a commitment. Okay. And at the same time, you should have the same kind of a commitment. Okay. Ultimately, you will be happy when you get selected in some company, and we will be happy when we are delivering a good resources to the IT industry. So this is what the plan, guys. And we are trying to start our first batch in December 1st week. Okay. So maybe I'll communicate the dates very soon. Whoever joined this thing, right? Like, could you please put your email IDs in the chat window so that like I can follow up it again with you guys? Could you please put your phone numbers? And I don't want like a phone numbers. I don't want to make it private. Maybe some people might think like numbers are private. So, or you can do one thing, you can send on my email ID or like maybe to my WhatsApp number. Just ping me hi in my WhatsApp. Even that would be fine. Thank you, guys. Thanks for putting your email IDs. Okay, is it offline or online? There are two modes, guys. One is mostly like the training will go online, but the projects, right? So I mentioned like a virtual reality. So if anyone interested in that virtual reality program, okay, to improve yourself like on soft skills, then definitely it's going to be offline. Okay. And there are a couple of times you might need to have few interactions. So I told you, right? There is a 4 weeks project model. During the time, sometimes we need to have a stand-up calls. Okay. Maybe once or like a twice in each project, means once or twice in a week, we supposed to connect. Okay. Any other questions, team?
Yeah, hi Chaitanya, myself Shailendra.
Yes, Shailendra.
Yeah, I have completed already Core Center course also, so I'm looking for ISCS. So is it possible only ISCS 10, including with the AWS and Azure Basics?
Definitely, you can.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we can think about the pricing model a little bit different then.
Yeah.
Maybe we can talk individually as is the individual requirement.
Okay.
But like my suggestion is once again go through in Power Center, because it's going to be a little different model, right? So I don't know, like either you worked or you just have a theoretical knowledge.
Yeah, I had took a just training. That's it. I didn't work. Actually, I belongs to a civil background, so I'm planning to shift on to the sector.
Yeah, but I do suggest to have the training. I mean, not in respect to the money or something else. Okay.
Yeah,
So, but my intention is a little different, because these courses are like kind of linked with each other.
yes,
Because
sir.
whatever we are teaching in Power Center, right? So definitely that is linked with the IACS only.
Yes, yes, yeah. Almost all
Right.
80 to
Because the
90%.
lab part and everything, right? Everything is kind of correlated.
Yes.
So, and moreover, like you are spending only 15 hours on the Power Center.
4%.
And why you need to lose that one also?
Okay.
Yeah, so this is Surya.
Yes, Surya.
Yeah, so you're going to teach us with IICS, Power Center, Informatica Power Center, and AWS and Azure, and data warehouse and cloud computing. So these 4 tools, and we have to learn from this full slot, right? Full
Right.
course.
Right.
So is that possible? So because I don't have any experience in AWS and Azure and any other technologies. Is that possible now to?
See, technology means like technology is different and concept is different. Okay. The main thing is you're supposed to understand the concept first, right?
Yeah.
To understand the concept, I don't think it will take a lot of time. Maybe I'll put a simple example, guys. Okay, for cloud computing, it is just like a traveling in a metro. Okay, before entering into the metro itself, I supposed to purchase a ticket. Okay, till what area or like till what stop you want to travel your journey, or like you want to do your journey, you will buy the ticket. That's it. Once your journey comes, or like destination comes, you'll just get down from the metro, right? But that is what the kind of a cloud computing. You will pay whatever you're supposed to use. During your journey, no one is going to disturb you. Even though everyone is using the same metro, no one is going to disturb you. This is a concept. Okay. But where to click, what to bring in is kind of a practical thing. But in the interview, right, if you are able to explain in a technical terms, maybe I put it in a very very generic example, okay, but like in the technical terms, right, if you are able to understand these generic terms, then definitely you can relate with the technology. It's not a big thing. So I mean, to put it in another way, right, technology is just like common sense. Okay, so the common sense thing, they are trying to put it with a kind of a technological process. That's it. And for you, Surya, what I can say, it's not a difficult part, because it's not a kind of a coding thing. It's kind of an environment thing. That's it. You need to know when you enter into a new flat, right? So maybe first day it will be a little difficult to see where is the kitchen, where is the dining area, where is the living room. But once you enter into this thing, and once you spend some time on that one, it will be easy for you. Okay. Don't worry about like with your past experience.
Okay.
And that's the reason I'm saying we are not entering in depth of AWS and Azure. We are only seeing a kind of a basic data elements as part of the Azure and AWS. But if you answer the same question to IICS and Informatica, my answer is a little different. For IICS and Informatica, right, you have to work in and out.
Okay.
Okay, but AWS and Azure only is a kind of a basic. No one is going to ask you also, trust me. In interview, no one is going to ask you what is the AWS, what services you worked. But why we are teaching to bring that level of experienced words from your mouth.
Yeah.
Okay, because the terms are very important when we are talking to others.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And yeah, the same question, if you ask for the IICS and Informatica Power Center, those 4 projects and everyday concepts, whatever we're discussing, the forms, whatever you're going to submit, right, that will make you kind of a confident. You need not worry about that.
Hello, Chaitanya. Yeah, this side is Samrat. Actually, I have an experience on the Informatica Power Center past around 9 years of experience I have. So I have a little bit experience on the IICS just for the 6 months. Okay, so I need only the ISES teachings from your end. So is there is a possibility only the ISES?
Definitely. As I mentioned to
Okay.
other person also,
Okay.
definitely. But like you are having like a well experience on Informatica, now I can
Yes.
say, yeah, you don't need like a power center training.
Yeah, yeah. I
Okay,
don't
yeah.
know.
I definitely suggest, yeah, better go with the IACS, even with
Yeah.
the AWS and Azure basics.
Yeah. Yes. I these two only, AWS and Azure basics.
Right.
Yeah,
Hope you
that's
can
it.
understand the importance of this AWS and Azure because you already worked in the industry, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to other people, right? So why we are
Okay.
considering AWS, right? Basically, we supposed to bring the data from those environments. That's the reason we are covering even those. I'm sorry, someone is asking a question.
Okay. Okay. Can I ask one thing?
Mhm.
Do you have a provide any kind of Snowflake teachings like?
For now, no.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Not an issue. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other questions, guys?
So what's the timing of the classes and
I need to get back to you on this question. Okay, so because like we need to say like we need to talk to every individual who is interested, right? Based on that, we have to decide the timing. But like normally, what we prefer is like a evening batch. Is current batch is going from 7:30 to 8:30. But like if this batch is going in the same time, it will be like kind of a 7:30 to 9 o'clock. 1.5 hour batch is going to be. Okay, or like maybe in the morning, very soon in the morning. But I need to talk to each and every individual to understand the timings.
Okay, each session would be like 1.5 hour, right?
Exactly, 1.5 hour.
Okay, yeah.
1.5 hour, and on Saturdays this session will go for 2 hours.
Okay.
Any questions? Any other questions or any suggestions? Okay, please do ping me in my WhatsApp number. So whatever I mentioned, like so, or you can contact us on this email ID. But I sometimes, right, like when you are sending this thing, it might go into the spam, right? So better text me on this number if you're interested, so that like we can plan ahead. And one more thing, so before the batch starts, right? So once you get the kind of an enrollment, we need to start working on your missions for the software installations, the Power Center, and even like we need to enroll into that AWS and Azure. And these things, I don't want to block your time once you join the training. So at least like a 1 week prior, I need to perform these activities. And 1 week prior itself, your SQL and Linux things going to start. Okay. So please give me like 1 week of time. Okay. So before the batch starts. And please do ping me in WhatsApp and I will be available like at any time. Okay. And if in case of any questions also do call me. Thanks everyone. And once again, sorry for that. The kind of a break I took like 20 minutes due to technical issues. And I really appreciate your patience. Thanks everyone. Thanks for your time. If you don't have any questions, maybe we can wind it up.